Welcome to the pathway of prosperity. Tonight we're going to make friends with money. Yeah, for real. And even just saying that will have triggered some of you, and that's part of the fun. And that's what we're doing here today. Listen, before I even get into this, I just want you to, feel into these words like money, wealth, riches. And then I'm going to use those really soft ones that everyone likes to use, like abundance, which, well, abundance is a great thing, but so many people avoid saying money, right? Or what if I say finances? Which one of these freaks you out? I want to know. Drop it right now. Tell me which of these words. And for most people, it's something like rich, because it's a freaking word, and people think rich is horrible. It's such a strange thing. But if you think of what a rich color is like, or the richness of a voice that you love to hear, or the richness of a delicious meal, rich sauce, how is that bad? So why on earth would rich, when it comes to money, even trigger anybody's negativity, right? Hey, welcome, fams. Welcome, family. So listen, how do you feel about money? For real. When it comes down to your deep feelings, not the whitewashing affirmation stuff that you've been trying to tell your mind for years and years and years and years and years, right? No, how do you actually feel about money? So I've got a wonderful bowl of money here, all different denominations, from all over the world. I even got this like magical Bridget cross with coins on it. Can you tell I like it? It's my friend. And how the heck can I even say that when most of the world has this weird aversion to something that's made out of paper and coins? And why is there a weird aversion to something that's been made out of paper and coins? When you really get down to it, when you really look at it, and you understand what's going on around money, you realize that it's kind of a con that the world has put on people, meaning that if you don't have it, then you are powerless. And why would it be useful if you were powerless? And I'm not going to get into all of that here tonight. I just don't have that much time. But I just want you to consider why you would even have these negative feelings around money, about being wealthy, about what it means to be a rich person, what it means to, what does it mean if you have more than those in your family, right? Why is it that consciously you have these big dreams, these big goals in your life to create, and you can tell me all about it, I'm sure. You could totally describe that beautiful future that you consciously want. And yet you've got your foot on the brake to do the work. Why? Because actually going after the money is somehow in direct conflict with your subconscious beliefs. So where do these subconscious beliefs come from? And we've covered some of this along the pathway of prosperity before, right? Already. You may have some really clear ideas of what your money roadblocks were, right? So you can start to drop those, right? And you start to think about, where did these come from? Well, they come from our earlier experiences in life. That's not a question, that these are, they were given to us, they were passed to us from our family and handed to us. But where do they come from? Well, generations and generations of people have been carrying these downright lies about what money is, what it means to be wealthy, whether you're a good person or a bad person, if you are ambitious. That's another good word. Ambitious. I love that word. My goodness, to not have ambition, I can't even imagine who I'd be. But some people have a problem with the word ambition. Why? Because people have actually been shamed for going after what they want in the world. Now, if you can't tell, this is the most important subject for me in the whole world. Because if you've got a desire in your heart, if it's been planted in you, then it is of utmost importance that you actually hold it in your hand. That if you have that idea then it means that the means become available to you if you conquer these lies about money. And so now, if you understand the neuroscience of why having those money blocks would actually keep you stuck. So again, tell me which of these words might trigger you, might feel anything yuck at all. Money, finances, rich, wealth, wealthy, any of those words, right? Just drop them. And what you should understand is that if any of those words or any of these topics, anything around money, if you have a negative association, probably because something that your family taught you, right? If you have that, it's such a simple thing because your mind will lead you towards pleasure and away from pain. It's the most basic thing. In fact, your subconscious mind is really just trying to keep you alive. And if it thinks that you're going to die if you get wealthy, well, guess what? You're not going to get wealthy. If you really think that it's dangerous or that you'll lose the love of your family or that if you earn it, people are going to take it from you. There's all different things. If it in any way has a negative subconscious belief back there in the back of this mind of yours, then your mind is leading you away from money. And this might be the most enlightening thing for you ever, because it's actually what is set me free, right? So understanding that I had mastered this money thing. I had mastered this, how to create it, how to make it, how to do this money thing in the world. However, I was still getting rid of it just as fast as I could. You see those videos with people doing the money going like this? Well, that was me. Get out of here, because if I have it, then nobody's going to love me. It's crazy. crazy. Trust me, that's over. But it was dangerous. My mind thought it was dangerous to be wealthy. Imagine that. And so if you've got these subconscious limiting thoughts, these subconscious limiting beliefs around money, and you have any negativity around money at all, then your mind is leading you away from making the money. That's why the foot's on the brake. That's why you're in procrastination mode. That's why you continually self-sabotage yourself. This whole feast and famine thing is a direct example of how this works. If you find that you're able to bring it in because you're so excited about it, you bring it in, and then you stop and you take your foot off the gas so that you can then crash and go back to your norm of struggling, my friend, this is a block. This is what's going on. And if you find that you're able to always have just enough, well, that ought to tell you that it's safe for you to have just enough, but for some reason, not anymore. And what I've learned is that making friends with money is, number one, about understanding what your inner conflicts are. And this is what I work on with my clients when we're working to help them to break free from all limitations, right? And when you do that, you're actually realizing a truth about yourself. And that is that this money thing is no different from you. And so when I say, no, just hold that thought. Or I should say, money is not separate from you. In fact, nothing is separate from you. And when you know that money as a concept is really just a thing. And so when I say make friends with money, it means to literally have good feelings around it. If you have a friend, then you have good feelings about them. You invite them in. You take good care of them when they're with you. You don't waste them. Okay? Right? And so when I say make friends with money, there's lots of different ways that you would choose to treat a friend, right? And that's the way you really should get your head around treating money. And when I say treat a friend, well, what do they say? Treat others as you would like to be treated. And so how would you like to be treated? Would you like to have somebody afraid to look at you, or afraid that they can't, get enough of you, or afraid that when you come in, you leave just as fast, or, have all of this like angst around you. Is that a friend? It's not a friend. That's a toxic relationship. And so tonight, we're going to take one of the first steps on the pathway of prosperity to help you to make friends with money. It's one of many steps that are, one of a few specific steps that are critical to reprogram your mind for wealth, right? And since you're committed here to get programmed for prosperity, I figured I'd give you one of the most important, which is literally to release your stress around finances right now. And if we are taking this path today together, you know that as I walk you through this, as we're all going on the pathway, I'm taking quite a few of you today on that pathway. And as I do, you'll find that some of the things I may say may be less relevant to you than others. Or there might be stops that you don't hear me make along the pathway. And your subconscious mind can find those for you too. So finding the most relevant things for you. And know that, truthfully, even though your subconscious has some faulty programming, all it's ever been trying to do is to help you. So even in this keeping your foot on the brake, or keeping you, from earning the income that that you're qualified to earn, right? Even that, it's just been trying to help you all along. So now we're going to give it a little bit of a different bit of instruction. And also know that as we walk and we go through this process tonight, that there may be even stops, things that we talk about, that you may have been avoiding thinking about. All right? And these are the biggest things. The things that you avoid thinking about, the things that are the most painful, the ones that hide in the back corners of your mind, those are the things that will keep you stuck, stagnant, inactive, not moving towards your dreams, okay? So absolutely allow those to bubble up, which is what we do when we're in hypnosis, is allow things that may not have been so apparent to us. They come up, they make themselves known so that they can be dealt with properly. And also, I would say that know that your mind makes everything work for you. And I'm not going to say, you brush your long blonde hair tonight. I'm not going to say that in the hypnosis. But even if I did, right, and you have short red hair, that's fine, because your mind actually fixes that. It makes those adjustments. It's always working for you. So if I say, spend time with your kids and you don't necessarily have children, that's not even relevant, because your mind will go, well, who would I like to spend time with? Who would I like to have that quality time with? Okay? So understand that your mind makes those adjustments. And so you can't do this wrong, and I can't say the wrong thing, because your mind's always working for you. It's always getting what my intent is for you to have those changes. And this isn't something I do to you or even for you. This is something that we do together, right? I'm just getting your subconscious mind to work with you, to bring you what you really, really want, which is to break free, right? To unlock this money in here, right? And so as you are going through this tonight, knowing that if you're here and you're listening, then you're committed, right? You're absolutely committed. And since you're committed, then you're allowing these suggestions to go through you. You're allowing these suggestions to work for you. You've decided to leave your financial worries, right? Leave them behind so that you can commit to unlocking the money in your mind. And you can just allow yourself to let go. Because as you release your financial worries, as you let all angst around this thing, this what? Let's bring it up again. Let's see. We got some paper, some coins, and this is from all over the world. But angst around this? No, it's just like art. Beautiful art, that lets me do fun things. All right? So when you've got angst around it, your mind is running from it. Get it? It's critical. So we're going to leave that behind, leave it behind where it belongs on the path so you can continue here. And know that when you're in hypnosis, it's such a beautiful thing because there's nothing for you to do, nothing for you to achieve. Literally, your achievement is committing to the process, right? Your achievement is in listening and allowing your imagination to run. And the outcome really is the journey itself. It's what you learn about you. And so, before we go into this, I do want you to just consider what your outcome desire is, right? If I say make friends with money and you think to yourself, well, if I made friends with money then, what might that look like? What might be different in my life? And if you've got that pathway of prosperity journal there in front of you, write it down. And not when because that still puts it in the future. As I make friends with money, which is in the now, this happens, whatever it is. This is happening now. As I make friends with money, I find new channels of wealth flow to me effortlessly. And I'm going to give you that little nugget now because it's such a powerful one. And that is that money is currency. And it flows, just like a river, through channels. Right? And so as you consider opening the channels to your wealth, you can imagine that you're standing in a river of wealth. You can call them, they could be coins, they could be rubies, they could be whatever you want. And all you gotta do is put those hands into the river. Be open to all channels of wealth, not limiting yourself to any one idea. And that is exactly what tonight's process can help you to do, is to realize that the blessings that you're looking for, they don't always come from where you're looking or where you're hoping they come from. And so even if you think that right now you know exactly where those channels of wealth are meant to come from, you might be surprised here over the next week when you realize that money comes to you from known and unknown places, right?